You know?
Wow. So
And the great ones are being thrown to the side because when you see them, they're in their gifts.
right.
So
Yeah.
you might see a mechanic and his hands are dirty, but that's his skill, that's his love,
Right.
that's his
Right.
ministry, and that's what he does.
Mhm.
But his hands are nasty.
The devil is alive.
But what is he like when he cleans up?
True. True. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what is he like when he cleans up?
There was
He's
a movie,
humble,
that movie
he's
with Bobby
sweet,
Brown that happened
he's
when the girl
kind.
saw Bobby Brown was working in the
Text,
garage.
too.
Yeah. And she pulled him out of the garage, fixed his teeth and everything.
Yeah. I mean, oh, God, how do I do this?
Go ahead on, do it. Do it. Bring that knowledge. Drop that knowledge
Okay.
on.
I was that movie.
Which one?
What you guys were just talking
Yeah.
Which
about.
girl?
Bobby
Which
Brown.
girl were
Which
you?
girl?
I mean, I was the one that took the ugly
You molded and shaped
and
it.
I molded it and I shaped it.
Wow.
But I did it not because I wanted accolades, because I wanted credit. I did it because I love. I did it because I cared.
Okay.
Because Barry didn't look the way that people who look at me would
Right.
think that I would be with.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
his sister, when she first heard about me, she was like, "Who is she? Where'd she come from?" Because I was not what they were used to seeing Barry with.
Oh.
I was totally out in the stratosphere somewhere.
Hey, Brenda, how were you different? What was different about you?
I was classy. I wasn't ratchet. I wasn't hood.
Yeah.
I didn't look tomboyish. I was feminine. I was well put together verbally
Oh yeah,
and
that's a lot.
physically.
Yeah.
I had a nice job. I was in the military. I was making decent money. So they were like, "Who is she? Where she come from?" This ain't what Barry is used to being with. So much so that his brother could not stand me because I took him away from what
He was used
he was used to, which Barry was past that. Like in the Bible, when the harlot was no longer useful to the men when Jesus came on the scene.
Like, preacher.
So I took him in love, but see, when I first saw him in his distortion, because to us in our physical eyes, people don't look the way we think they should look, so it's distorted. But when we see it in God's eyes, it is beautiful, no matter what the flaws. So when I took him in with his flaws, and I loved him in his flaws, and I said, I see the potential. Oh, you just wait. The time is coming. As soon as we got married, I got him hooked up on my medical insurance.
All right.
Not gonna say anymore. Don't want to, make him look too bad. But
He was equipped.
he was not what people thought he was supposed to look like.
Wow.
And thank God to insurance. When he was fixed up, that's when all of the naysayers and all the ones that kind of threw him to the side wanted to come back on the scene, and they were looking. The work has been put in. The work has been put in. He came to my construction site, and there was a building put up on my construction site.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
When all that happened, I was like, no.
That's just called being a helpmate.
I was his helpmate. Absolutely.
How did he change once he transformed?
No, he did not become
okay.
big-headed. He remained the same. Yeah.
All right, Frayden, what you got, bro?
He's gone.
He must hit the off button by mistake. He'll call back. Wow.
Yeah. And I understand that completely too. I did the same thing too, but I did it with my words.
See, have you noticed the man ain't said nothing like that?
Yeah, I mean,
why do y'all think that?
Because it come already fixed.
That come already fixed?
Oh, now.
Is that what that is?
Oh.
Is that what we doing right now today?
So
I don't
why
know.
is it the men haven't said anything?
Cause they don't
But,
communicate.
no, well, hold on. Well, one thing I was just trying to get social media up and running. But I think what happens is, unfortunately, and it goes beyond race. I mean, I think I wouldn't even say black and white. I think women are taught growing up how to be fixers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we are.
And
We are natural nurturers.
and this is it. Think about, well, I mean, you have all girls, but think about women who have sons and they really cater to their sons. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to make
my grandson big time.
right. Probably more so than you did to your.
I
I
did.
don't know. So moms, when they raise sons to almost think that however you are, you're okay. You know what I'm saying? So if a woman puts in a demand on that, it's almost like you don't even. It's like, no, why are you bringing all these questions or whatever? My mom accepted me how I am. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So when a woman puts that pressure on, like you need to get better, it's like, oh well, you just need. Well, why are you trying to get me to change? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think my mom. I mean, my mom. She tried to be. I mean, she wanted me to do right or whatever, but instead of making me clean up my room, she just said, close your door. You know what I'm saying? Don't, whatever you do in your room is your room. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing crazy, but she didn't say, clean up your room every day or whatever. But if a girl, I can't imagine a mother telling the daughter, you can leave out this house and everything's not straight or whatever. So I think, and then, and this is it. And I saw this happen. I was in the house and it was a son and a daughter, and the daughter was on the phone, and the son didn't need to use the phone. I heard the mama actually say, "Get off and let your brother use the phone." I'm like, wait a minute, how can you just do that? How can you? I mean, she was just having to be on the phone. He said, "I need to use the phone." And your mom said, "Get off the phone so your brother can use it." So I don't know, I don't know what now. Abe is a classic example because he's a father who's really involved with his children. So Abe, do you tend to raise your daughter and your sons any differently?
So that's the reason why I asked the question, because uh, my intake, this is my opinion, is that for me, how I'm looking at my future involves everyone.
Right,
So
right,
I want to improve. I want to improve the life or the dominion, instead of improving someone that I know is going to come anyway.
right,
So what I'm saying is that a man's focus, even though they say that we look on the outer appearance of a woman, we always looking with our eyes, but we also got to look at a man's also looking past that. So what is she going to look at 15 years from now?
right.
Is she going to be the way she is now? And that's how I'm thinking.
Right.
So that's the only reason why I don't try to change my daughter or change my son. Looking at the bigger picture, my bigger picture is, what are they going to look like when they're 20?
Right.
What are they going to look like when they're 25? What is my daughter going to say, and how she's going to look when she's 20 or 18?
Right.
What is her
right.
mindset going to be? So
Right.
now when I'm looking at that, I'm not looking at, what, my daughter hair, she got too many braids in her hair. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about, is she going to have her hair?
Yeah.
She's going to take care of her hair when she's 25. Is she going to do this? Is she going to do so? So I'm saying is that a man's process is always looking past the right now, whatever it is, what's going on now.
How about restrictions? How about the boundary you set for your. I mean, I know your daughter is younger right now, so I know her boundaries have to be a little bit stricter. But you know, do you think you will give all of them the same curfew? Like everybody in the house at 10? Like if your son went out on the date and your daughter, would you say would you give they all had to be in the house at 10?
Well, no, I'm training and teaching my sons and my daughters to be accountable for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter how you're looking at it, if my daughter's going to learn how to conduct herself with my sons or without my son,
Good.
and that's what I want my daughter to be to understand. But I understand that at the same time, the makeup of a woman is different from the makeup of a man.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like if for a woman, if a woman's feeling comfortable and she feels safe, a lot goes into that. So it's like we're down for a man can say anything she want to say as long as that woman she feels comfortable and she cool, she gonna get it. So I've already seen that with my daughter already because I was coming out. I make the story short.
No, make it long. Let it go. We ain't got no more time. We ain't got no
I went
time.
downstairs. I was about to get food ready, whatever. So something in my spirit told me to look outside because my daughter said she wanted to play with the next door neighbor behind us. They have a trampoline. I said, okay, yeah, that's fine. So now that's fine. So as soon as I came downstairs, he said, you might want to go look out at the patio window. I said, okay. So as soon as I step at the patio window, I see the young boy with his back towards me, but he's speaking to my daughter, Sanaa. Sanaa's like smiling and comfortable. So she moves closer to the little boy. So I was like,
what was your reaction to that, bro?
I was like, this boy just told her to come closer. I was like, oh no. I said, Sanaa. I opened the door. I said, Sanaa, it's time to come inside.
See, that's what I'm. But hold it. Let me ask. Wait, hold it. Oh, you know what I'm gonna ask though. Go ahead and see because you know what the next question is. You know my next question.
Okay, but wait. So I brought Sanaa in. I said, you having fun over there? She said, yeah. I said, so I forgot his name. I think his name is it's a Bible name. I can't remember his name. I think it's Daniel or something like
Or
that.
David. It might be
I
David.
said,
It's cool.
so why did such and such told you to come closer? So she's like, she swallowed real hard. Started looking side to side, so I know when my daughter gets nervous, she don't want to say what she want to say. So I said, Sanaa, what was the conversation?
Oh,
Did he ask you to
God.
come closer? Was he trying to kiss you? No. I was like, I said, come on, you said that real quick. I said, did he ask you to come closer so he can kiss you? Because I think he was dealing with Valentine's Day or something like I forgot what it was. Anyway, so I asked her again. So she couldn't tell me she was getting real. Now I said, you know what? Look, I said, it's natural for you to have a feeling for for the opposite sex. It's natural for you if you want to kiss him. I said, I have no problem with that. I said, so for me to let you know that I'm not upset. I just want to know, did he ask you to kiss him? So she got kind of quiet. I said, well, forget about him. I said, did you want to kiss? She was like, yeah. I said, okay. I said, there's nothing wrong with you want to kiss. I said, but
that's mature, bro.
I said, but right now it's not time for you to be kissing him.
He was vaporizing inside.
So
He was becoming a pillar of salt.
So I was like, well, I said, it's natural for you to have them feelings for opposite, but I said, for right now, you don't want to do that. I said, just wait till you get. I said, well, you got 17 years for that to happen because she'll be 20 when she's 7, so she's 24.
That's too funny, bro.
So she was like, okay. I said, but at the same time, if I ask you something, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
that's what I want you to do. I want you to be honest. Because I'm not going to be mad with you because that feeling that you had is natural. But I want you to understand that feeling before you go any further without me knowing or that you get into something that you don't know what you're getting into. That's why I said, because I know how important it is because I was young. Introduced porn at the age of 6.
Oh my God.
You see what I mean?
Right.
So, and my mom, I never understood what my mom told me not to go to the next door. She said, leave them alone. Don't go over there. I didn't understand it. But as soon as I went over there, that's the first thing that came. Wow. I was like, I didn't understand it. So that's when I was introduced to porn.
Wow.
At the age of 6. So within that's when, the promiscuity come in and all that stuff.
Right.
So now I'm thinking that it's okay, that it's fine. But then my mother, she's fine. I told you not to go over there. So,
wow.
So those are the things that we gotta start. I believe that it's more important to see the bigger picture instead of seeing it right now. Which is nothing wrong with how women view men, but I think that's where a lot of men that they don't try to. It depends on where they're at their life or what critical point of that they're in their lives. For me, I look bigger than that. I look past that thing. Like, how can we build this together where we can everything around us is looking good, and that we can find ourselves if we want to dress ourselves up, or if we want to fix ourselves up. That's fine. But what about our means? What about our finances? The places that we live. Are we staying in one state? Are we gonna live? Are we gonna live 3 more states? What are we gonna do?
Well, see, both my girls are dominating.
See,
Both of them.
I don't know about that.
Oh, hey, let me ask you one question.
Okay.
If you saw your son in that same scenario, would you have had the same conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, as long
Okay. Here's here's one. I'm gonna tell y'all. Social media, for the families of the mothers and fathers that have sons and sons that are having social media platforms, you want to check on them. So this is another story. So my son has a phone. Abram has a phone. So once he gets the phone, he's always going in this room. He's closing the door. So one time I come in there. As soon as I come in there, the phone get under his arm or get under the bed real quick. He look at me real quick. I'm like, what you doing? Nothing. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, nothing.
Nothing looks very suspicious.
Yeah, you looking very suspicious right now. You suspect.
And then the red thing you do is jump.
Come on, he jumped.
That's the wrong thing, bro.
Mind you, this is not the first time it happened. It's like the third or fourth time it happened.
Oh God.
So this last time I said, man, you come in there. If I come in there, he jumps and he's on that phone. I'm asking what it is. Showed up, I looked on there, man. Boy. Boy, I thought Eve had entered the building. You understand what I'm saying? And she was uncovered. Somebody, come on now.
Oh.
I'm talking about like he has my taste. I'm like, yeah, I was like, boy, what's this?
How was it? Was it TikTok or was it just another site?
I think it's TikTok, but he's like, subscribe to it. I'm like, boy. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm proud of you. But boy.
See, that's the one right there. That's right. That's the bros, though.
So,
that's the bros. That's the bros.
For me to say, I said, well, son, look, son, I didn't want to say I'm proud of you. I said, well, look, this right here, you ain't ready for this right now. I said, man, I'm very disappointed in you because you hiding it from me.
That's the TikTok when the dad was like, yeah.
Oh, well, in my mind, I'm like, boy. But when I spoke to him, I was being very stern. But I said, look, this is unacceptable. You're not ready for this right now. How I know you're not ready for it because you hiding. When I come in, you hiding from me. So that let me know you already making me know you in the wrong. I said, so what you need to do is unsubscribe to this person right here.
I know that was hurtful.
If you don't know,
I would be like, man, I'm gonna give me a different phone.
I had to, man. So I said, you need to unsubscribe to this lady right here. And
was he talking? Was he chatting? Or
I don't know, but it was the fact that so mind you, he didn't know. He wasn't worried about that. He didn't know that I can bring up the history, or I can hit a button to bring up the past screens that he was using.
Right. He just swipe.
So when I looked on it, it made it seem like that he just had his phone off. When I hit that home screen or the user screen,
he didn't know better. He should have swiped up.
I was like, man. Well, I said, I knew it, but I was like, man. But when I looked at it, I said, Lord have mercy. Well, he's just like me already. So I know. So now I know what I need to do to prepare him and let him know how to treat someone instead of him going in there unprepared and not knowing what's going on. So that's my position on it right there. But I had to let him get ready for that. So I subscribe to it. But I don't know if he's doing it now. But man, it's probably been going on for a minute now.
Oh yeah. And this is it. And what happens, I think the thing that concerns me about, social media and TikTok is to have the girls who are the influencers. So, that's like probably the top 10% of, makeup, everything. So now your son has this, I just hope he doesn't develop this expectation that if a girl doesn't look like that,
right,
that this is the standard. Because
and see, and that's the thing where I try to talk with them, and I talk with my sons and everything. I try to be straightforward with them. Um, Amon, he's more on the lines of understanding the person's personality.
Okay.
I have not quite, excuse me, I have not quite seen what it is with Abram. More likely, it's probably the other parent.
Okay.
But Abram, he's intuitive. He's inventive. He works with his hands, so he's always thinking.
Okay.
So I don't really know about Abram and how he's looking, but I know for sure that Amon he deals with person's character.
That's amazing. You can see that already,
So
bro.
yeah, because there's a next door Isaiah, his name is Isaiah, next door behind us. At one point, Isaiah and Amon never got along. They were always arguing and fighting, but right now, I guess they're more comfortable with their characters and everything. So now they're able to interact with each other without getting mad at each other. But I noticed that Amon, he's always dealing with people's character.
Wow.
He's always dealing with people's character. But at the same time, he does have an attitude when he's getting frustrated and everything else like that. The majority of the time, that's all I see. Now for Sinai, Sinai is that's my spirit. You know what I mean? That's the life. So everything with her is always got to be lively.
Okay.
So I don't know why it was she felt comfortable with Daniel or whatever his name back there. I don't know why, but yeah, that's basically what it is.
Because we don't have, and I think what happens is, and because imagine if we were all sitting here tonight and we were 21, 22, 23, all of this conversation would probably be different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had time to live through life. We've been through relationships. We kind of, you get into your late 30s, 40s, and 50s, then you've experienced life. But imagine if all of us in here were like under 25. This conversation, these conversations would be, I think it would be a lot different. Because have we changed? Think about your 24, 25-year-old self. How are you just? Would y'all the same, or do y'all think there's been an evolve? I mean, what? Yeah.
Well, for me, I had always had an old soul because, believe it or not, most of my friends back then were older ladies.
Right.
My conversation was always with older ladies. I really didn't hang out too much with my age.
Right.
So I would just say I got wiser from then, but I still had an old soul.
Right.
So when I got married, I actually was ready for that.
Right.
I was, I had a lot of my youth taken away from me because I had my first child when I was 15.
Oh, yeah. God, you were,
right afterwards. And because my mindset was always right. Because when I had him, he was born with a birth defect.
Oh, that's
so normally the grandmother takes over the raising of that child.
Right.
Instantly, I was like, my mom's not gonna do that. So I had the mindset of growing up right then. And so I took care with the help, but my mindset was, I'm doing this.
God, Fred, that's a lot
for
of
19 years, I was his sole provider. Although I had another son, I took care of him. It wasn't me and his father. It was me. It wasn't me and my mother and others. It was just me in and out of the hospital with him. So I grew up mentally very quick. Childhood, I don't remember.
God.
I don't remember being 21. I don't remember my teenage years because I was a mother.
Oh, wow.
When do you remember having your first independent moment? Like, where you were like, not that where you were apart from your children and you felt like you were making decisions based on not for my child right now, but I'm just in this moment enjoying myself.
2 years ago.
God, yeah, I was ready for that answer.
I'm serious because all I have ever known was taking care of somebody.
Wow.
So I went from being a single mother of 2 boys,
to
being a wife of 20 years.
And then you had to actually take care of your husband because
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right. So
You know, I was
that.
taking care of him. So
Whoa.
right now, I'm living out what I never had the chance.
How does
to
that
live
feel,
out.
Freddie? How does that feel now that you don't have the weight that like that you can say I'm gonna do this and you don't have to think about 3 other decisions before you do it? How does it be have to have that kind of freedom?
It still takes a little getting used to, and even with my son living with me, he's there. It used to be a lot of the times, but now that he's doing his own thing, he's doing his own thing. But I found myself being my mom when she was with me. Where are you at? Make sure you're okay, and I had to just not calling him whenever he didn't come in.
Yeah, I understand that.
So I pull back. So if he doesn't call me and say, "Hey, mom, I'm not coming in. I'm not coming home tonight," I don't call him. I've got to be okay with that.
Is it something that that you're trying to do, or is it natural now?
Is that natural? And then
No, I'm talking about, is it natural for you to just say, "Hey, I'm gonna just let it go," or do you be rare like, man?
I'm learning.
Okay, all right.
Learning.
Wow.
But yeah, 2 years ago, just kind of not taking care of anybody, and now I am my sole responsibility, and I don't feel bad about it, Pastor.
Well, let me ask you. So
I
now
don't.
that you are
I
free
don't really
thinking,
have that at all.
if you're free thinking now, how does that affect? What are your expectations in a relationship? Because now you're not going to take care of anybody. I mean, I don't think. I mean, I don't think you would. Now that you've done it all your life, or do you think you're still like that? Do you still think that you revert back to, I got to take care of this person? I mean, not in a bad way.
Naturally, that's me, because I love to. I have a lot to give.
Right.
I have so much to give that my desire is to have is to be married again.
Right.
Because I just want to share what's inside of me.
That's true. Okay.
But if I don't, again, like I've said, I've experienced being loved. I've experienced being with a provider. I've experienced being with a lovely man. If I don't experience it again, I'm okay.
God,
okay.
That's amazing.
But my expectations are, I need a partner.
Okay.
I need a partner in prayer. I need a partner in enjoying things of life. I don't want to do things by myself. I need a partner. I really need a partner, because that's what I came out of. Now, I don't want to take that part away. I need a partner. Am I wrong for wanting that?
No, I think it's absolutely
because that's
natural.
what Barry and I had, was a partnership.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. I don't want anything less than that. Now, I'm not asking them to be like him, but that partnership thing,
It's strong.
I need you to be able to pray for me when I can't pray for myself. I want you by my side whenever I do go to church. And if we're in different churches, how this sometimes can be, I want to be on your side. I want you to be by my side. I want to be able to, talk about the word and discuss the word. And I see you evolve and you see me evolve in our spiritual walk. There's so many things that I'm desiring that I didn't desire in the first one. Like, I ain't being with nobody who want to go to the doctors. Yeah, because you're not gonna put something on me that could have been prevented.
Yeah, true. Because that's then
you need to take care of yourself.
You're becoming a caregiver.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the things I didn't do then that I'm doing different now. So I think different.
Okay.
Well, we would be talking about 25. We'd be clever. Where we going?
I would have been. Yeah, that was when I was. I think I was about married then. Probably 21, 22. 21, 22. I was been. Yeah, I would have been. I'm like, yeah.
Guess what? I joined the military when I was 24 years old.
Oh yeah.
So I went from just committing myself to other people and never myself. So that's why I'm learning to know who I am right now.
Right.
I would just say, for me, it seemed like I was groomed to take care of everybody.
Oh, okay.
And if I ever felt sick or had a bad day, I couldn't show it because I was a strong one.
Right.
And they still to this day treat me just like that.
Yep.
You're the oldest sibling, right?
Yes, I'm the oldest, but even when my cousins, cause my mama kept everybody. It was like a summer party every night. Nobody wanted to go home. So in my younger years, I was cooking and I was cleaning. I didn't get to play.
Mm.
God, gee, God, that's like whoa.
Wow.
I really didn't.
I did not have that. Like hey, I was a PK kid. I believe I think what my mother and father experienced while they were growing up being saved, they I guess they made it in their heart that they were never allowed
Put that on
to
you.
go the same way. So we did everything together. If we wanted to go to the movies, we went to movies together. If we wanted to go to a park or whatever, everybody in the church went to the park together.
Oh wow.
So it was more of the interaction and being able to do that. And mind you, understand this, that when everyone was together in church, there was no pregnancies. The only time pregnancies came when we weren't together.
That's true. Yeah.
I just noticed that. But when all the young folks were together and they did everything together, there
You
was
look
no
good.
pregnancy.
Yeah.
And it just hit me. It just resonated with me. But as soon as everybody was not together, then all of a sudden children women start coming up pregnant.
I think it's
Oh,
back
girls.
at just what's tonight. I think what happens is because when you're together, you can have those feelings, press them because you know you're gonna get in trouble.
That's
But
right. Yeah.
you get a little bit of freedom,
Right.
because now you already hold this like what y'all was saying. You already got the safety element. Like you were saying, I'm comfortable with you. I feel safe.
There you go.
So the barriers are gone. So now if I put you in two young people, opposite sex in the same room,
Right.
and you already have a comfortable level.
Right.
It's who fights against that? It's like
it's gonna be it's a natural thing.
it's like man,
It's a natural thing.
Now,
What?
you talked earlier about Sinai and how you noticed that she was comfortable
Right.
with that little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Explain from a male perspective how how a woman being comfortable.
I'm the only one she's supposed to be comfortable with. Nobody else want no. Nobody else. I'm the only one that's not supposed to be comfortable with. Now, if she get comfortable with somebody else, it's gonna be a problem. It was a big problem. I seen that like this little boy made my daughter comfortable.
So what is it when a woman can find herself being comfortable? Because I know you said when you're comfortable, you're okay. You kind of you open things up. You're comfortable to talk, communicate.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying about the differences between the female and the male. When I'm just speaking for myself, and probably Pastor Miles can join in. When everything is together with a man, he doesn't have nothing to worry about. It's like a lion. If the lion knows everything around his territory is good, he's just going to lay down and just be cool. He's cool. But when a woman feels that, it's a different thing. Now he's going to be able to realize, those are flowers right there. Oh, I didn't know that. I just knew they were, this is my territory. Oh, that's a river and a brook. See, the woman is going to be able to show us exactly what we're dealing with, or who we are, what our surroundings are. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just thinking like, hey, everything here is mine. Everything that I got I'm comfortable with. It's good. I'm good with it. But when a woman shows up, she's like, you got a little river back there. Oh no, I didn't know I had a river back there. I knew it was a river, but how you making this seem like it's just something that's very special.
Yeah.
I just know there's a river back there. That river's on my property.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But when a woman tells me, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So you like that? You like that river back there? Yeah. So that's how it is. So when I see my daughter with this young man, and in my position, yes, sir, and he did not come to me,
He's not gonna come to you,
and tell me, yes, sir, that how he feels about my daughter. Come on, somebody.
They don't do that.
No.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Daughters may do it quick.
Because my 16-year-old right now, and I know she's talking to somebody. because she talked to him entirely too much. She glowed when she talked about it.
Uh-oh.
So she was like, I said, well, if he wanted to date you, he got to be man enough to come meet mama. And she said, well, mama, you seen him. Okay, when he get man enough, the one asked you on the date, he need to meet me face to face. Hey, how you doing on such and such and such. And if you done been around me 3 or 4 times, don't know who you are, then something ain't right. So back then, my mom wouldn't even allow company in the house.
That part.
And I was 15. I couldn't even put on lip gloss.
Whoa.
At all.
Wow.
At all.
These girls wearing eyelashes, lipstick, skirt up the boot. I'm telling you. These girls, they are bolder than we were back then.
Yes, sir.
I had to go to school and change my clothes.
Oh my God.
So to also answer your question, Frederick, is that I'm constantly letting Sanaa know that she's beautiful with makeup or without makeup. The other things with fingernail, I don't want to evade her question, but I try to put a question because she likes, the dialogue that we have is very intimate. What I mean by intimate is that she trusts me in everything in consideration. I try myself to be open and then allow her to be open to me as well. So when I asked her, I was like, what is the reason for you to have the makeup and the fingernail polish? I said, because me personally, I think you just want makeup and fingernail polish because of your cousins and those that are around you have it on. But what is the reason why? What is the real reason why you want to have makeup on? So when she, she has to think about it. But then after she thinks about it, I said, well, if you don't want to answer that right now, just hold the thought and then whenever you come back to me, just give me an answer. I said, but I do understand why, because you have your baby, you have your dolls, and your dolls are all made up and everything else like that. So you thinking that's what beauty is. But I'm saying you're beautiful even without the makeup. And that's what I'm sharing.
That's good, bro.
So that's the only reason why. But I said, but if you desire to wear the makeup and the fingernail polish, just understand there are some good sides of the makeup. There are some bad sides of the makeup. So those are the things that,
dad, bro.
Man, I'm trying to be, man, because it's like I understand why my father and my mother and father was always telling me certain things. They only going by what they know. But now that I have experience, I've been through what I've been through. Now I got to give that information to my daughter, to my daughter.
Yeah.
Because I know how it is that that's the only way we see women now is that they're full figured, they have makeup on, and they have fingernails. But it's more than just that.
And they're natural, like natural hair, no fingernails, no makeup. We're kind of shunned a little bit.
Right.
So the group has shrunk.
Yeah.
The group has shrunk because we don't have straight hair, long hair.
Right.
It's my natural curly afro puff.
Yeah.
I don't wear, the makeup. And now the group of men that I would love to look at me are not looking at me because of what society has placed in our minds.
Yeah, there's
It's
nothing
bad.
wrong. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with with the makeup or anything like that. I understand the principle of it. We can also to go even further, the certain aspects of the coloring of the makeup was the healing aspect of our bodies. So I'm reading the book of Definitely Africa. He's saying that that's one reason why makeup was, when our people were using makeup, it was a form of healing. So you had yellow or green. The green was for the healing, but there's also colors for each organ.
It's like war paint.
It's like war paint. So you put that color on and you put it on your face, it signifies something. So I have, now that I have more understanding and knowledge, it's just not for the beauty of aspect of the makeup. Now I understand that there are some holistic healing to that. Then I'm not going to say, well, my daughter cannot wear it. So now I just want to be able to give her information and give her more understanding why you're doing what you're doing. Just not just because you want to look pretty and you want to look girlish. So that's just my thing.
Bro, wow, bro.
I would say too, at the end of the day, the reason why I said that is all in response. is because we look at stuff around us and what the men respond to. I was one of them chicks.
Right.
You know, everybody was responding to the lipstick and the nice hair and the, you know, the big breast and boot
Right.
and all that. That's why it's a lot of people getting cut up and filled in because of the response. Because of the response of, you know, they want that type of response.
Social society.
Right.
And they're not getting that, so they feel like, well, I have to transform into
Whatever.
to get
Yeah.
the, you know, to get that response.
Response, yeah.
That's right.
So, you know, just like a guy told me, he said, why y'all always into the guys that you know, they don't have a job and blah blah blah. And I came back with him with because the one that do don't want us. They don't want a commitment.
Right. That's yeah.
So it's like we're stuck with that because y'all don't even want to commit.
Yeah, I hear the
But then
bro.
y'all
Yeah,
get mad with us when we pay them some attention.
Right.
I hear the bro. I guess I was on YouTube or whatever. She said, "Man, that girl got it twisted." I told her I was not gonna fall in love. I told her that, and she let herself fall in love. I'm like, and then she felt like I did wrong. I said, like he said, I'm not getting ready to get married right now. He said, I already know that. He said, if you coming at me, I'm gonna tell you that. But if you think you can change me, I'm gonna tell you you're not gonna change me. So yeah, he said that. I mean, he was a younger brother. He probably like, you know, late 20s. You know, I think you could tell he probably, you know, professional. So he was just saying, oh, he just, you know, he said, I'm sorry the girl feelings were hurt. She thought she started talking love. I said, I told you I wasn't gonna fall in love with you.
So don't complain when we fall to bust.
Without buster.
We ain't got. we ain't seen no buster.
Well, what do you consider a buster, G?
Right.
Someone who lay on your couch, drive your car,
But
Oh,
somebody want him though.
control your money,
Somebody wants him
control
though.
your phone call, like they paying the bills.
Yeah.
Someone who eat up all the food and not contributing.
Who do you
Someone
know?
who comes to the
You sound like
table
you know
with
that
network.
guy.
Those are the busters to me.
Wait. So, if you
What is a buster chick?
what's a buster chick?
What's a buster chick?
I don't know. I really don't
You don't know what a buster
I'm
chick
serious.
is?
I really don't
Well,
know.
I think what happens. I was listening to this lady I follow on TikTok. She has some good stuff. I think what happens is who the brothers who y'all consider brothers who do that busters. Men look for women like that because then they feel like they got something they can provide. So if you know what happens is the same because what happens is they had the conversation where a man said, you know, most men can't handle an independent woman. They don't want the woman. I got my car, I got my whatever, I got my business because I come to the table. But to the one who said, I'll keep my nails did, keep my hair done. If you can do that, it's like, you know, you feel like, okay, this, I can at least give you something you need.
Right.
But when you already getting your hair done, whatever, what do you want from me? Like companionship, brothers like, I'm a provider. If I'm not providing for you, what can I do for you if I'm not providing? Yeah, so I think we're not going to be as quick to say busters, because if we can provide that need, we don't have to, you know, I don't know too many women. I mean, there are probably some that if you're providing all that, you know, they probably are doing some things, you know, like,
Right.
if you getting their hair done, their whatever nails did or whatever, you know, you're probably doing something in the house. They might be cooking. I mean, if it's intimacy, you know, if they like the sex and all of that, so they probably don't have a problem doing that. So the brother's like, I'm good. I give you the money on the weekend, you're gonna get yourself good, and you like that, and then you give me what I need, if whether it's sex or this is. Then the brothers like this, because then you're gonna be looking fly when we go out. And for some brothers, that's cool. You got the dime piece on your arm. And so the brother's like, hey, that's cool enough for me, you know what I'm saying? But if you got the woman that's independent, like she making bank, she whatever, of course, and she done, I like the last thing she needs for me, like to get my hair done, I got all that. So the brother's like, well, what do you want from me? He's like Freddie said, I want companionship. Like, well, what does that look like to you? What is that like? Just to sit it, because then the brother feel like I'm not contributing anything. And believe it or not, most brothers believe. I don't care if you think it's a buster. Most brothers, and guess one thing about the buster is might be like Fred said, that buster, he can fix a car, he can do something. So what might be a buster is like he might have some quality that's like, well, that's cool. That he, at least that one quality that I'm getting. But for the men, Yeah, men are looking for women
The
sometimes.
busters I'm talking about doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely. Now, if I'm out there making the bread or whatever, and I have to come home and still cook and still clean and still take care of children and still cater
Oh,
to you
yeah.
and still, that's a buster to me.
I am getting ready to be I don't want to say the devil's advocate, but I'm getting ready to be the advocate for the opposite sex in this part.
Okay.
Because I'm learning what are they being taught? Because children emulate what they see. So
True.
can you blame them for being a drug dealer when their dad and their uncle and their mom were drug dealers?
Good part.
Right.
Good part.
So I'm learning in this dating thing.
Right. That's
Why
good.
does somebody do what they do?
That's good.
So
Absolutely.
if they are laying on the couch and doing absolutely
They
nothing,
saw the bros
it's
do it.
because what they have seen, the music, and most of all, it is because it is being tolerated. But what have the girls seen to make them sit back and be okay with a man that does not bring
They
anything
had
to
to,
the table?
you right, Fred.
It's because
They saw it.
it's environment.
Right.
Learned environment. So I'm learning to learn the root of why people move the way that they move. And the reason why I'm adjusting is because I'm learning the root of why I move the way that I move. And it stems from my past.
Mm.
It stems from my past. Are the things that I'm learning good? No, but when I learn the things that are bad, I'm learning to undo them. And not only am I keeping it to myself, but I'm teaching others to undo what is been me. And I see in you, there's a better way. So our men are not being taught. They're not being taught to tell, their daughters that they love them. And most of all, they're not being taught to tell their sons that they love them.
Yeah,
because
that's
of
true.
the stigmatism that has been placed on them. So whenever I see a need, I speak a need. It's got to be undone. I'm not a man. I can't tell you how a man feel, think, feel, whatever. But I'm gonna tell you what is missing from a lot of our men.
Right.
Wow.
And then again, like, from what I'm seeing, what I'm gathering, you don't know that he's a buster until you spend time with the person. So so I understand that aspect. But like Frederick is saying, that those are the things that we have to. That should be the first thing. Investigation. I don't want to call it investigation.
But that's what it is. You got to do it. Yeah.
You're going to have to investigate, especially in this day and time. And
Yes,
now
sir.
you're going to have to, I think for any single person right now, I think the best thing to do is investigate that person. Find out exactly what's going on, where they're coming from.
And I think that's why most women say, what can I do to make him better?
Okay.
But it's called not making him better. It's called seeing potential.
Right. Right.
And when they know they have potential, sometimes they just need that push. And if they don't want potential, if they don't intend on changing, some of them are not going to change.
You got to leave that. Yeah. You got
So
that
you can
there.
tell if they're willing to change. If you give them a small task and say, okay, let's work on doing this. And if it's small and they do that, and you're like, okay, I got their attention. But if you give them a small task and they need to move an inch towards it, their mindset, they're not going to change.
Right. Yeah.
They're not going to change. My kid's father, he is a year older than me. So he's 52, getting ready to turn 53 years old. And he is still doing the same thing that he was doing when we were young. He's not changed.
Wow.
He's still doing the same thing.
Wow.
But I've changed. I've done a 360 times 10
Right.
compared to him.
Wow. Wow.
And there was one thing that my son said that makes a lot of sense. Our men catch a heart. Because we women, we really don't have to do a lot to even get attention. We really don't have to get a lot.
I'm running a marathon.
We really don't have to do a lot to even get a compliment. But how often is a man given a compliment? How often is anyone opening up the door for them? How often is anyone, Men have a bad break, and that's what we don't realize a lot because it's all about us, all about us, all about us. But they have a bad break because no one really pays attention to them.
Well, you know what? But
You have a
and
few.
that's another thing about me too. I do those things.
But
I open the doors and I compliment.
But guess
me.
what? I do that too. But we are rare.
But they call us alpha women. We're not alpha.
We're rare.
Right. Wow.
You know, give them a compliment. I'll give it a minute, sir. You are so handsome. Oh, that is sharp. On. You know, I love your beard.
Every time I don't know, I don't know.
I love your beard.
I love the way you smell. You know, what's that cologne?
Right.
You guys need that just like we do.
Yeah, that's true.
They do not make us alpha women. We comfortable in who we are. We don't mind making you comfortable too.
Yeah,
it's just it.
And that's one thing I see from and I can see how some brothers, when you get in a leadership position, you just, especially as a pastor, I'm like, man, if you're not grounded, you can just whatever, because women are caterers. You really have to be cognizant. Yeah, because you're already in position, and you got most of the traits that on the outside that they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have to learn, like when people are trying to help or whatever, I guess I have always been so guarded that I really have to just let it there and say, okay, just need to help, because pastor, because I've seen pastors abuse that so much, because the women
also have to keep that discernment on, because you have to be able to discern whether it's a setup or whether it's really sincere.
Right. Yes.
That should never be. Well, that's just my opinion. That should never be as far as what we're talking about as far as the church. Now in ministry. So what I mean by that is, because if pastor's going through that, why is that person doing that? Where did she get it from? You see what I mean?
And 90% of the time, the members are always female. I don't care what church you go to. Your congregants are going to be mostly women.
Right.
But you have some, whatever you want to call it,
thirsty.
That's what
Jezebels.
Thirsty.
But you've got some evil women, Pastor.
Yeah, you do.
You really got some evil women.
Freedom.
And
thank God.
But then that has to be turned around as far as getting the men back into
position.
That's it. That's true. That's why I love about freedom. Actually, we do have brothers at freedom, and that does make a difference. But I see how pastors can fall because people, they cater to you, and this is it. And because people, women feel safe around you, that's already a level that you don't have to fight through, because they feel like they're safe. You know what I'm saying? And brothers who fall into that is because, you start receiving that, and then all of a sudden you got energy flowing, you know what I'm saying? And then it turns crazy. So I just really, that was one of the things I just had to, it took me some years just to learn how to receive help, because I never wanted to be that kind of preacher that, or pastor that was, expecting that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or you keeping this big, almost flock of women around you, hey, go do this for me, go do that for me. And because they are with leadership, some women like the leadership, like, okay, if I'm connected to you, I'm connected with the head. Like, no, man, that's why I say, look, we all are vital, essential, and necessary. It is not a person. Like, I'm not the vital part of this. Jesus is the vital part. But but I can see it, if you get the big head right quick, it just turns so crazy so quickly. No, right. Literally, the getting up part, man. Yeah.
See, I just like to see men smile, because so much weight is on their shoulders.
Oh yeah, it's true.
People do stay on their back and talk down and stuff, especially our black
men.
So I don't mind doing a compliment to make them smile, because I know what it feel like to feel unimportant. Sometimes. So you want everybody to
make
feel.
Me turn this studio.
You have to make everybody feel important, because we all are here.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's a track right there. That's a track. You are important. You matter.
That's why I say every
No
Sunday.
matter what you look like, feel like, smell like, do, you are important.
Yeah.
Here you go. You go hand it to the roughneck that you can find and break them down.
Right.
Turn
Yeah.
around and be like, because once he,
Right. That's it. That's
yeah,
it.
that's a track. That's a track.
Yeah, building people up, man, is mission critical. Yeah, for everybody. Anybody who has a deficiency, it's coming out as a low self-esteem or whatever. Low self-esteem comes out as hard or whatever because you wall off. So you become so most hard people are the ones with the lowest self-esteem.
Come on
Yeah,
now.
yeah, they are. It's like, no, I'm not gonna let anybody hurt me, so I'm gonna just keep this wall up.
Yes, yes.
And then once you break them down, those normally the ones who just turn into like the
Yes.
best people in the whole world. Yeah.
Especially they look at me all the time. They look at me all the time because you don't know what they said before they walked out the door.
Oh yeah.
You know, if you're like, you know what, you
ain't
rocking
gonna be
this
nothing.
day, you rocking them shoes. They put that on their face like, yeah, and keep on walking. Ain't nothing special.
Right, because I remember in Lewisburg, my first year at Lewisburg College, I just kept a frown on my face because I didn't want to when I walk past people, like especially girls, always looking hard or whatever. And yeah, I was like, oh, you ain't gotta say nothing to me.
What that look like?
Yeah,
Show us the face.
I don't know if I can get it right now, but it's But I was like, I would always look hard or whatever. So we went to a camp the second year, and I was talking, and they said, I can't believe you talking to us. We thought you didn't like nobody. I'm like, I didn't realize it came off like that. Like people, I was serving lunch line, people come through. I'm just like, hold on, no, I spoke to somebody. That's what happened. They was coming through the lunch line. I said, hey, what's going on? They're like, wait. All the girls like, hold up, wait a minute. He spoke to us. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, bro, that's terrible. They were literally like, I can't believe he actually spoke to us. Like, I wouldn't speak. I was like, because I didn't want to get, I didn't want to get rejected or whatever. So I went to the other way. Like, I'm gonna just look hard at you first. You ain't gonna get the opportunity. Then I don't even know if they caught me on guard. So I just say, hey, how you doing? They were like, wait a minute. He's like, this joker actually spoke to us. And I was at Lewisburg College, so one was so many of us anyway, basketball team or whatever, so you didn't have a lot of brothers. So, so if you got a brother who acting like, stay off, she's like, it's why are you acting like you got a sourpuss face, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't even know what made me speak that day. I guess I saw all of them. I think it was like the basketball team or something. I said, yo, y'all, what's going on with y'all? They were like, they took a breath. They were like, wait a minute, I think he really just spoke to us. Like, wow. That was terrible. That you would have, like, but I said that because I was walled off because I'm like, I have been hurt and rejected. So I'm like, let me just put on the air and I won't get hurt and rejected. Yeah. So what y'all are saying is absolutely true. Absolutely 100. Yeah. All right, I know it's getting late. I don't know, Frayden, man, he must have had something. Have you talked to him lately? Yeah, he must have something coming up. Yeah. But good, y'all. We still got a lot more to go. The next one is falling out of love. That's next week. But those two kind of go together. We can talk about falling out of love, and then number 4 is inability to confront problems. We dealt with that, but we can look at it.
We did the inability. We did kind of jump down to that on last week.
Yeah.
The inability.
And then it's some good ones, man. Too many differences. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So this will take us for a minute. Yeah. So I'm gonna let all my co-hosts say that good night.
Well, I'm gonna go back to what I said last week, which will be my ending from this point on. Small pebbles make large rocks. Let's continue to build on those relationship nuggets, and we'll eventually become great relationship empires.
That's good. That is dope, bro. That's dope.
It's for my black brother. I love you. I never try.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a jukebox.
Continue to heal, feel, grow together.
See, how you listen to music all the time? You got too much
time.
Of course, always let's have domain together and not over each other. Grace and peace to that.
Grace and peace. Amen. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, great, great. I enjoy being with y'all, and I'm starting to ask in. And if you're sitting there tonight and say everybody doesn't go to church, and we're not just trying to cater. We're all saved, we all Jesus, but we understand we have some people who are out there who you're saying like, well, rest, that's really not my thing. But if the one, it is a benefit, it's an asset to have Jesus as a part of your life. Not just to, I'm not talking about going to church every Sunday and all of that. I'm just talking about to have somebody that's totally in your corner. One thing about Jesus, if you look at him beyond being a savior, he'll always be for you. And it's good to know that you got that one person in your life. Like the ladies were saying, brothers, especially our brothers, sometimes you don't feel like who's my go-to. And Jesus is a good brother. I mean, Jesus didn't never say anything about going to church all the time. All the stuff that we bring in that we make religion, that was never Jesus' thing. Jesus always wanted relationship. And bros, we know how that is. And women, Jesus is the one who's gonna love you regardless of your skin color, regardless of what you look like. Jesus never looks at you at the outside, he looks at your eyes. So as a great friend and great confidant, Jesus becomes that person. And then when you have to, that person is inside you all the time. And it's good to know that no matter where you are, you got someone inside of you that's loving you, that who wants the best for you. So if you want that experience, if you want Jesus to be the person for you, and he always is, but he can't really talk to you and have that kind of relationship without accepting him. He needs that from you to give him permission to come into your life and to be that friend that you're looking for. And if you want to do that, you can just repeat these few simple words after me. He'll come into your heart tonight. And like I said, I'm not asking you to start going to church. I'm not asking you to do anything differently. I just give him the opportunity to talk to you for a little bit, and he'll immediately start. You'll start hearing, it'll feel like you're having a conversation, and Jesus will literally just start telling you, like they were saying, how special, how important you are. That's what Jesus is all about. He's about building up your self-esteem, building you up as a person. And to get that relationship, all you have to do is repeat just 4 or 5 phrases, and then he'll come into your heart, and you can have the greatest relationship with the greatest brother and his father. His father definitely wants a relationship with you. He created you, so he wants that relationship, but he can't have that relationship without his son on the inside. So and the Holy Spirit wants to help you also. He's a great counselor, and he can give you advice. So to get all those benefits, you just can repeat. If you just repeat these few simple words, phrases, can you repeat this after me? Father, I repent of all of my sins. Father, I now accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior. Jesus, thank you for coming into my heart and coming into my life and saving me. Now, Father, thank you for making me a king and a priest in your kingdom through Jesus Christ. In Jesus' name, amen. That's it. You got relationship. That's it, man. And I'm telling you, like I said, I only want you to do anything different. I'm not going to tell you to stop doing anything. I don't care what you're doing, but just start talking to Jesus and say, Jesus, what do you want me to do now? And guess what? He'll start talking to you, and you're like, well, Russ, what about church? Start praying. You might want to start visiting some churches. I'm not going to really put any names out there. I mean, I'm the pastor at New Hope Freedom Deliverance, but you can start, just go sit in a church and just see what it feels like. You can just, pick a church, and maybe it's a church somebody in your family goes to. You might just show up one Sunday and just sit in, just so you can see what it feels like. But but you make the most important decision tonight. If anything happens, the one thing you know now is Jesus is by your side. Yeah, and we want to release you tonight, of course, with the priestly blessing. We do that. This is the blessing that God gave to Moses to give to Aaron. And this blessing is definitely, and for you who just accepted Jesus, definitely covers you now and to all of our kingdom citizens. I'll be back on at 5 in the morning. We're definitely on. We have prayer on the radio at 5 in the morning, so definitely feel free to join us. You can just call in. We're on Facebook, and you can actually call in and listen. I don't have the number. I don't think I have my number for the prayer line up, but I'll make sure I get that out to you. But you don't have. But if you got social media, you can just get on the radio. Just turn the radio on. If you're listening to me on the radio, just turn your radio on, and you can listen in. Or you there. And once you tune in, we have a call in number. We're also social media. So yeah, definitely if you want to get up and just have some devotion, you don't have to stay the whole time. Some people just pop in for a minute for a little bit of inspiration, and then you just go about your business. So yeah, definitely feel free. And then the Gospel Angel will be back up at 7 a.m. with the best in gospel and quartet and with some great word from our sponsor. So want to release you with the priest of blessing comes from Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 through 27. And I always ask if you just turn a palm towards the sky. You don't, if you're laying down, keep laying down. You can just, receive this blessing. I'll come with Numbers chapter 6, verse 22. And then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, verse 23, speak to Aaron his son, saying, this is the way you should bless the Israelites. Say to them, verse 24, the Lord bless you and keep you, protect you, sustain you, and guard you. Verse 25, the Lord make his face shine upon you with favor and be gracious to you, surround you with loving kindness. Verse 26, the Lord lift up his countenance and face upon you with divine approval and give you peace, a tranquil heart and life. In verse 27, so Aaron and his sons put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. Well, y'all have a wonderful night. Thank God for all of our co-hosts getting home safely. Y'all have a restful night, and we're getting ready to switch over to the best in R&B, old school R&B, some slow songs and some faster music. We'll be playing this until 5 o'clock when we get on for prayer. So you'll listen to WYRN 1480 AM, W295DK 106.9 FM. And remember, on the night we're just on the FM side, so you can definitely keep listening on 106.9 FM.
Good night.
Good night,
Good
y'all.
night, everybody. Yep. All righty.
Thank y'all for tuning in.